Hello and welcome. This is Sandra Hart. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Because it's Valentine's week, I thought I would celebrate it by talking about something that probably is very interesting to all of us as we get older, and that is femininity. Mature femininity. What is it? And how do we really make the best use of it? Loveliest of trees, the cherry now is hung with bloom along the bough, and stands about the woodland ride, wearing white for Eastertide. Now of my 80 years and 10, 20 will not come again, and take from 70 springs a score, it only leaves me 50 more. And since to look at things in bloom, 50 springs are little room, about the woodlands I will go to see the cherry hung with snow. Hello again. It's so great to see you. And when I say it's so great to see you, I honestly mean it. I started on YouTube about 6 years ago, and it's changed quite a bit since I started. So many of the YouTubers now have professional teams working with them. They have people that help them edit. They have people who help them with social media. It's become a really big business. But here I am everything. I am me, and I'm the only one who does. I do all of my filming, editing, choosing the music, doing the social media. So I'm doing soup to nuts here all by myself. So when you come back to visit me, I am so excited to have you here. I really appreciate you coming back to have these conversations with me. I honestly do. Now, let's get started. I think quite possibly one of the big questions for all of us that are over 50 or over 60 is that, can we still be feminine? We're getting older and we look in the mirror and we see things that we really don't want to see or didn't see when we were younger. And sometimes, because we are older, and this culture does make us invisible, it really does. But I myself, I wonder about my femininity. I wonder, now that I'm older, if I've lost a lot of those qualities that I felt that I used to have. And in reality, I know, and it really is true, that femininity has absolutely nothing to do with the way you look. Not at all. It has to do with a mindset, how you think about yourself and how you feel. I mean, there are certain qualities, my husband and I have a friend, a male friend, and he and his wife have been good friends of ours for a long time, and his wife passed away quite a few years ago. And I talk to him now and then, and this topic was on my mind, and he lives in California, and we had a nice conversation, and I said, I'm thinking about doing a video conversation about mature femininity. I know you're a mature man. Just exactly what do you think makes a woman feminine? And he said, well, really, that's easy. He said, it's just how she presents herself. He said, there's nothing more feminine than someone who is confident of themselves, a woman who really has taken all those mature years and made the best use of them and is proud of all that she is right now. And he said, you know what really catches my eye? I said, no, what? A beautiful figure? He said, no, not at all. He said, of course, it's nice to see a woman who takes care of herself. But he said, her smile. The first thing I notice when I see a mature woman and someone, around my age or even a little younger, is her smile. He said, that really gets me every single time. And it reminds me also of a story that I read about two Hollywood celebrities, and I'm not going to mention their name, but the wife is very beautiful, and they were both at the Oscars. And she was standing there with him, and they were having their picture taken. And she noticed that her husband was looking, around the room. And he came back to her, and he looked at her. He said, you know who is the most beautiful woman in the room? And she thought he was going to say me. But she said, he looked over, he says, over there, look, Jessica Tandy. Now, Jessica Tandy at that time probably was in her 70s. I really think that so many of us, and including me, so many of us mature women really underestimate our power. We underestimate all of the wonderful qualities that we have built up through our lives that are very feminine and reek of femininity, even though we have wrinkles and gray hair and our bodies are not what they used to be. It's all about how we feel about ourselves. And, I have problems with that too now that I've lost my husband, because all of a sudden I'm out there in the world. I don't really ever want to be married again. I don't have any of those desires, but I still want to be relevant. I still want to feel as though that I am soft and feminine and in control of my world and who I am. And I just don't want to be this woman who looks and walks like an old lady. The other day I was down at our park on the end of South Beach, where all of the people walk and they promenade and riding their bikes and walking their dogs. And I really did notice the women who caught my eye, the older women who caught my eye, they were the ones that really had a little bit of swing to their walk. They weren't stiff, and they were, could just like swing their hips a little bit and walk. And they had a very elegant, smooth way about them. And it had absolutely nothing to do with how many wrinkles they had or how thin they were or how heavy they were. It was just somehow an aura that certain women have. And I think it all has to do with inner confidence and a belief in who they are and a real appreciation of all the strengths and things that they have learned in their life and the power that they do have as older women. So now I've kind of taken that and learned from it, and I'm more conscious now when I walk. As we get older, sometimes we stiffen up a little bit and we're not quite as limber as we used to be. I have realized how important it is when you walk to maybe swing your hips a little bit and be a little bit more relaxed when you walk, and to show off that femininity that has been there for, in my case, 85 years, and to just use it. Don't hide it. Don't be afraid of it. But when you are out and about among people, just use that femininity. Use your body to be confident and loose. And I always think of Sophia Loren when I talk about this. But just when you walk, just sway a little bit, be loose, and to feel that power. And it's amazing. When I walk now and I'm a little bit more relaxed, I'm a little bit more loose, I feel that power within me. And all of a sudden, I am feeling very feminine, and I have forgotten all about who I am and how old I am, because within myself, I am still that young woman who had perfect skin and a tight body and lots of hair and things that I thought would razzle-dazzle a man. It's all up here, and it's all up being able to use the mature femininity that we have all developed throughout the years, this take charge confidence that we know we have raised our family, we have done our work, we have whatever it is in life, whatever achievement you have done. And if you are over 60 and you have lived, you certainly have achievements in your life within your own world. But be proud of that and use that and really up the game with your mature femininity. As my friend said, let your smile dazzle, and all the rest will fall in place. And after talking with him and watching the women that I feel are quite feminine, who are mature ladies walking on the promenade, it has given me more confidence to feel that, hey, I know that age is just a number, and I know to some people I may be irrelevant and invisible, but within myself, I know it's still possible to create that femininity just by being and just by walking and being confident in what I've done in my life and who I am. That's my thought. Those are my thoughts on mature femininity. We all have the ability to take charge of who we are and be proud of the years that we have lived and the things that we have learned. All of this can be tapped into creating and making the most of our mature femininity. Thank you for being here today. I really enjoy having each and every one of you. And let's all be good to ourselves and get out there and swing your body a little bit and relax and bring out and reinvent your mature femininity. Let's pray for world peace, and of course, let's all be kind to one another. And if you're out there and you feel that you are alone, you're never alone, and you are truly loved. Thank you, and I hope to see you next Sunday for another conversation.